Talk about engaging boys and girls in reading and writing tasks all the time for meaningful, authentic purposes. And having a classroom blog is a fantastic way to integrate reading, writing, and also have the boys and girls get one more chance each day before they go home to remember the learning that they had in their classroom each day. In my first grade classroom, we had a blog called Myers Message, and every day at the end of the day, the boys and girls had to work in cooperative groups and remember things that we had done through the day. So one group would be in charge of remembering the writing activity, vocabulary, and skills that they completed for the day. And one group did math, one group looked at social studies and science, one group did reading, and one group did special events, and one group was always in charge of our word of the day. And so at the end of the day, as the boys and girls packed up, they would grab the card for their group, the topic they were brainstorming, and then they would talk about what did we do in math today? And they would talk about, what vocabulary words were part of our lesson today? Because one of the big complaints that parents have, and I have as a parent as well, is the fact that my children come home and I don't really know what they did in school. I may get a tiny glimpse, but I needed for myself to know more. And I am a nosy teacher, but I wanted the families of my students to really be able to uh, feel like they were in our classroom and also have the ability to share with grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends the neat things that we were doing in the classroom. I also wanted it to be meaningful to my students, so it wasn't just a parent communication tool. But doing that one more chance at the end of the day to hit the vocabulary or talk about a concept, so when we do it the next time, it's fresh in their heads. I found that very valuable. So we started the blog, and I blogged with my class for several years. And again, I was the scribe. I typed the blog. They were first graders, but they told me exactly what to type. And so it isn't like the language experience approach, because if they gave me grammatical errors, I did fix them since this was in print for parents. But I was using their knowledge and their words in my blog. And you can see from this picture, we got to share photographs of the learning that we were doing. This was our solar system wall that we created, and they worked in groups to make a planet, do research on a planet, and explore life as an astronaut. So I'm just going to take a moment and share with you. Let's do Thursday, May 21st. And this is what we did today in our classroom. Our word of the day today was mother. It was a rule breaker because the O said the sound of short U. It had two syllables. It was a noun. After recess, we began painting our planets in groups. We had to tell Mrs. Myers the colors we needed to make our planet look real. After we finished, we made a solar system on the wall in the hall, and we each added some stars. Then it was lunchtime. After lunch and recess, we got back into our groups and began typing our planet reports. We had to write a grab the reader beginning, add fact sentences in our own words, and finish with a wow ending. Mrs. Myers was so proud of how we knew how to type and use the computers independently, write a research report, and follow directions carefully. We must almost be second graders. A big thank you to Macy Gale's mom for helping us type today. Next, we had math. We were listening to space story problems. We used our plan, listen, highlight the number, labels, and words that tell us to add or subtract, then write an equation. Last, we checked our problems. Just before recess, we had a solar system with Mrs. Lauber's class about orbit and rotation. We made a giant solar system in the classroom. We sang the orbit song and got to act out the jobs of the moon, the earth, and the sun. The earth rotates once a day each day. This gives us night and day. The moon orbits the earth once a month. The earth orbits the sun once every year. At the end of the day, we practiced reading our reports in groups. We had art too. We're so excited to see our solar system in the hallway. We can't wait to share our reports tomorrow. So this is just a glimpse of a day in our classroom. Again, everything that I just read to you was given to me from the students. So they were remembering what they did in math. They were remembering the word of the day and all the parts that went with it. They were remembering, what they did for writing. So it's really neat to hear them engage and remember their learning. These are authentic tasks in reading and writing with our students. If you'd like, I have our photo on the slide that this came from. If you want to get in the blog and see some more of our posts, you may do that. If not, you can just check out what I shared with you in the video.